Hello friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel Simply Stocks. And today I'm going to talk about Century Plyboard, a complete SWOT analysis of the company and where could it be headed. So let's get started. First of all, a disclaimer that this is not a stock recommendation. People taking any position to any share that I talk about should do that with their own due diligence and research, and I'm not in favor or against any company that I talk about. Before I talk about Century Plyboards, a small request that kindly support me on Patreon. And once you do that, it helps my goal channel, help you also ask me questions and eke out answers in greater detail. Once you get a $10 membership, you'll have access to my portfolio, my watch list, and number of podcasts that I put up from time to time. And also, if you can pay $100 upfront, you get 1 year access by paying for 10 months. For detailed market or company talk, you can directly email me and we can work things out with a fee. And also, if you cannot pay on Patreon, kindly do take the monthly membership on YouTube, and you can just email me that you're not able to pay on Patreon, and we can work things out with something else as well. Now about the company, established in 1986, it is the first ISO 9002 certified plywood firm. It has strong return ratios, recently raised prices of its products, and it has pan-India presence. So it has pricing power and to an extent, and has been transferring those price increases by 5, 8, 10% to the consumers, and the margins have not been hit that much. Plus, there's one more thing I want to say about Century Plyboard is that the company is not dependent on the pure, you can say, oil and gas that is being produced, and the prices of it has been going up because they depend on biofuel, and 80-90% of their manufacturing is done through biofuel. So that is also a cost that will not be incurred by the company, and that is probably primarily the reason why the stock has not fallen a lot, even in a situation where the crude has gone to $115 per barrel. If you look at the numbers, then these are Q3 numbers of this year versus last. Sales was up 41%, profits also jumped 41%, and debt has reduced. ROE, a 10-year average ROE of 26% for the company, and margins are 18%, which are increasing. And now we are seeing the benefit of such numbers, that the stock is now commanding a PE of 60, 50, 60, around 50, whereas earlier it was commanding a PE of around 18 to 20. So that's what happens with companies or stocks. It was trading at around 300 rupees earlier, and now above 600, 650 rupees. And the reason for this spike or doubling of the prices over the last 1.5 years is that the valuations were always there. The numbers were always there, the valuations did not catch up, and now the valuations have caught up. So on both on the upside and on the downside, the valuations eventually catch up. So that is one learning from the movement of Century Plyboard that we can take. If you do a SWOT analysis of the company, their strengths are market leader in the plyboard division. They have very high margins in this business, strong ROE and sales growth over the last 10 years. Periodically, it has been reducing debt for the company, and the debt has reduced to an extent that you can call it as a debt-free company. Cash reserves have annually increased, now at 950 crores. In the last 10 years, from 200 crores to 950,000 crores, now 5x increase in cash reserves, and they are looking to have a decent acquisition going forward. Variety of products sold on multiple platforms, online also they sell, and there's a high promoter holding of 72%. So everything looks pretty good. You add to that use of biofuel for their you can say manufacturing in a big way is also a huge positive in a scenario where most of its competitors would be using pure gas or oil products, and so they would be incurring a lot of costs. So this is going to be a game changer perhaps for Century Plyboard going forward. Also, I see a lot of upside in the stock after a little bit of correction. In terms of weaknesses, I was trying to find some. So there are few operating profit margin is growing at a slow rate. So it's around 18%. It could easily go up to 22, 23% going forward. It has not done that. So margins improvement is required. Although in this high inflation scenario, there could be a possibility that margin improvement may not take place so quickly. Borrowings have increased a little bit, although they are paying debts very quickly, but borrowings have also increased. But perhaps this is because of the fact that they are trying to expand their manufacturing facilities, so they are bringing up more factories, etc., because of the demand pickup post the pandemic, are not able to capture rural and third tier markets. So they are primarily in cities like Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, etc., Kolkata, so on and so forth, but have not really gone into third tier cities or globally. So that's another probably global expansion is an opportunity, but not going to third tier cities or establishing themselves is a weakness. Less product mix, they could end up selling even more products and variety of products, and try to innovate more, which they are not able to do. And the product prices are high, so one can buy the same products from a local shop, but being a brand and everything, the prices are a little bit high, so maybe beyond the upper middle class families domain. So there they could look at probably cutting down on their margins to increase sales and getting penetration into the middle class or lower middle class families. So that could be done. Probably they have a marketing or sales strategy not to sell to those you can say markets, but that's what I feel here. If we talk about opportunities, then the big India growth story is always there, and this is a huge opportunity that once salaries increase and once economy comes back into the picture and economy really grows at 7-8%, I think Century Plyboard could do wonders, and the stock could even rise higher, because then the numbers would be totally different. Urbanization and consumption increase in third tier cities and small towns is also a huge opportunity, which they are not tapping at the moment, which they could do going forward. Global expansion is another one, as I explained, that if they could export to say Eastern Asian nations or some European nations, that would be better. Benefit of tax cut, as it pays 28-30% tax, so tax cut benefits would be there. I think the tax cut benefits have already trickled in for the company, and getting into government orders, government institutions, and getting those orders, those will be huge orders with high margins that the company could look to get into. So organized market share, gaining more organized market share, which they are doing at the moment, but there's a huge opportunity in this field, because the unorganized market is pretty big in this industry. In terms of threats, I believe that heavy competition is one, and competition from unorganized market is a threat. A slowdown turning into recession, which could be a huge threat for the whole of the industry, the manufacturing industry, if that takes place, because of the kind of inflation we are seeing, and the salary is not increasing for people working in private sector. Raw material prices, if it keeps rising, although they use biofuel, but there are other raw material cost that comes in, and that could affect if this continues for 3-4 quarters, and people opting for other products, again competition and other kind of products altogether is also some sort of a threat for the industry altogether. So, in my opinion, the strategy would be buy as an SIP. The stock has run up. It is at, I mean, at a PE of 50 already, which I envisaged about a couple of years back. When I made the presentation. So, accumulate over the next 12 months on dips and look for massive falls to buy into it. Keep it for 3 to 5 years. Do keep a 20-25% stop loss from your final buy price, and exit investment if pledges increases or things go bad with the stock. Otherwise, I think the stock should do well over 5 year period. I think it could do 3-4x even from here. So that's my video on Century Plyboard. Please like and subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so you can get my videos straight away when I post it, and kindly support me on Patreon. Thanks a lot.